Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Vermeulen from the TechnicalTraders.com. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Chris, the equity markets, again, depending whether you're looking at the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, are there different stories taking place at the same time?
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, we've got you got two ends of the spectrum. You've got the leaders, and then you got the laggards. And really, the stock market's really being propped up with a handful of big tech companies that are outperforming and really cleaning up during this crisis. Which you've got Facebook and or Google. All these online marketing companies, Netflix, all these companies pushing to new highs, doing really well. And that's like the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq really covers those large tech companies, and it's up about 40% from the lows just really only about a month ago, which is really incredible. And then you've got the other side of the spectrum, which are you've got small cap stocks, which people just aren't really interested in at this point. And you've got even the Dow's not performing the greatest. It's got utilities, or transportation stocks. It's got a lot of things that are under a lot of pressure going forward. So you kind of go a hot index, you got a not so hot index, and the market to me is, it's a Fed-induced rally at this point, and I think we're going to see a very abrupt end once this momentum stalls out and people start to realize, okay, we're back up near the highs for the Nasdaq, and now what? People aren't going to want to pay a premium at some point.
And of course, the question, Chris, you must be being asked all the time, well, if we have a nice little climb here on the Nasdaq, when is it going to power out, stall, and head down again?
Right, yeah, and that's the big question. I mean, in 2000, when we saw a stock market crash in the Nasdaq, it actually fell 40%, which this year we fell 35%, and it happened very quickly, just like this, where everyone knew there was going to be bad earnings. And then the Nasdaq rallied 46%. And the Nasdaq right now is up 41% today. So this isn't anything out of the norm. I mean, it's not normal, but we've seen it before. And the Nasdaq has performed and moved just like this. And once the Nasdaq does stall out, things could get really ugly. I mean, we went into a multi-year bear market after that in 2000. I don't think that's quite the case this time around because the tech companies now actually have the upper hand, as opposed to back then they didn't know how to make money. But my point is, we've seen a sell-off like this. We've seen a 46% rally like this. And, all the underlying internals of the market, transportation stocks, the Dow, small cap stocks, they're all underperforming. There really isn't a lot of muscle behind this market. It's just a bunch of big tech companies dragging the price higher. And it's just kind of inflating these other smaller companies that eventually, if this and when this momentum stalls to the upside, the floor is going to drop out and we're going to see another really sharp collapse because what goes straight up usually comes straight back down.
With that kind of condition, then, what happened to the basics? That's what the Dow is based on, everyday materials and so on. Aren't we using them, or is there a case of that all the manufacturing is either slowed down or stopped right now, so they don't need basic commodities?
Yeah, I mean, the transportation is a big part of what's going on, especially with the Dow. And, it's just really not performing all that well just because, people don't want to bring ships into harbor. Everything has just come to a grinding halt, and I think that's why we're seeing the Dow underperform. You look at the manufacturing or the industrial sector, it's underperforming as well. People are just, they're on skeleton crews if they're running, if they're allowed to run. So it's just everybody's expecting poor earnings, and because there's little production, you don't need a lot of shipping. I mean, it's just kind of a domino effect. You stop, manufacturing, and everything, upstream, downstream of it comes to a grinding halt. And that's where we are. And I think things are going to be slow for still quite a while. And really, this is just a bounce in the equities market. I think there's more downside to come, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of selling we get. Are we going to have a March type sell-off where it's broad market, meaning everyone sells everything? Almost every asset class falls, or is it going to be just select sectors collapse and fall, and some commodities rally? We'll just have to see what kind of fear is in the market this time.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Cypress Development Corp is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, how would you characterize the rally that we've seen in a few of the stock markets?
This rally, I've been calling it kind of the suckers rally. It's, everyone I know who's not fully involved in the markets, who doesn't understand technical analysis, how they really move, they're all piling into the stock market here. TD Ameritrade reported something like 300% growth in the first quarter of new trading accounts open. So 300% more people opening brand new trading accounts. That just goes to show people are stuck at home. They don't know what's going on. They think the bear market is over and we're about to start a new bull market, and everybody's piling into the market. They're finally saying, hey, I can buy all these big tech companies that I've watched rally forever. I can buy into them at a good price. And so that to me is driving the price higher. There's a lot of fresh money moving in, but it's not really huge money. It's just a lot of small accounts kind of inching the price higher. And I think the Fed is supporting with stimulus, helping drive prices higher, but I don't think it's sustainable. And once this wave of all these new traders and investors move in thinking they're buying at a good value, that's when things are going to top out. And then I think we could see things roll over. So to me, this is a dead cat bounce. I think we're going for a double dip. We almost always see a double dip when we see panic selling like we did in March. Whether the market falls 5, 8, 10, or 35%, in history, it shows us that we almost always go for a double dip. The market retests to check people's pulses. And the question is, do we hold that double dip as a bottom, or do we break down and start a full-out bear market? And that's the big question. Everybody's waiting and wondering what's going to be the outcome.
Now, I'm wondering if a person was caught unawares on the first drop in the market, should you take cash now and take advantage if there's a double dip of the next bottom?
I think if we get back down to those lows, as a passive investor, I think you're looking at least you're getting in at a somewhat fair value. The thing is now is, even though the stock market's not even close to its highs, the Nasdaq is an exception. It's pretty close. But the other indexes are all way below it. We're actually at a way higher PE ratio now because earnings have now just dropped off the charts, yet the price is still trading at the same value it was a couple of months ago. So people are actually paying a huge premium right now. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand, that is you're actually paying more per share right now than you were back in February when there was great earnings and everyone was growing. And so the fundamental side isn't even there to support price anymore. And the fact that the technicals and fundamentals are together, it paints a pretty strong picture that things could get ugly.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, is there any particular area that you think people could exploit right now?
Yeah, there's a couple areas. I mean, I like the precious metals. Gold is holding up the best in the strongest pattern. Large cap gold stocks broke into a bull market about 2 weeks ago, so that's a fresh kind of long-term setup. And the other play really is natural gas. Natural gas is it's starting to show signs that it's putting in a bottom. It's making a series of higher lows, higher highs. It actually had a beautiful trade for us last week. We caught a beautiful 11% trade, a pop, and we actually got out right at the top, and now it's come back down and it's getting close to a support zone where it could actually be another great opportunity to get in, because seasonality-wise, natural gas usually has some strength here going into June, and then it tops out for more or less the summer. So I think there's opportunities in gold, large cap gold stocks, and natural gas if you know what you're looking for, and depending on the time frame you are as a trader, because gold miners to me are kind of a long-term play. I think they're fresh in a bull market. Gold is a little more mature, but I think it's going to continue to go higher, and those are kind of longer-term plays, whereas natural gas is you get in, you're probably out next week. It's more of a trade short-term.
Gold, how's it holding out?
Yeah, I really like gold. I mean, gold and bonds have very similar patterns, and gold is forming a bull flag. It looks like it's primed and ready to continue to rally to the upside. If it does break out and actually confirm this pattern that it has formed, we're looking at about $2,000 US an ounce for gold, and that can actually happen fairly quickly. Based on this pattern, I mean, we're only looking 2 or 3 months from now, it could be at $2,000. Now, that's only if this chart pattern unfolds using Fibonacci extension, how we think it could. But there's a lot of upside. And, I mean, a lot of people didn't see this big run last year when we saw the breakout in gold into a bull market. People weren't thinking it was going to 1750 or 1800, and that's what we were calling for. And that move played out perfectly. And so this is the next move. The next move is to 2000. So I really like precious metals sector, because I think gold, the underlying asset, is going to rally, and that will trickle through to the gold miners as well.
Is there any action in Bitcoin?
I'm not too excited about Bitcoin, to be honest. I mean, it is trading a lot more like the SP 500 the last 3 months in terms of when we got an up day in stocks, Bitcoin is up. When we have a down day in stocks, Bitcoin is down. It's kind of shadowed the price action of the general money flow in and out of the stock market. Overall, it looks like it's had a very strong rally. The last time you and I talked, we were talking about a price gap, that if it could break through the price gap, it was going to go to 10,000. And I think it was only a day after you and I had spoke. It rallied, it broke up, filled the gap, and it's gone right up to that 10,000 mark, which is a major resistance zone, and it has pulled back from. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of Bitcoin. It has huge gaps on the charts, very big percentage swings that happen in a short period of time, making it really tough to catch trades, and you're carrying a lot of risk to trade it because you never know if it's going to gap up or down the next day. So overall, it's got a broadening formation, higher highs, lower lows. It is just a volatile machine, and I think it can grind you up and spit you out if you're not extra careful. So I'm not too excited about trading it at this point.
Chris, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show, Jim.
My guest has been Chris Vermeulen from thetechnicaltraders.com. If you have any questions for Chris or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@housestreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HouseStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.